Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's Howling Time with the Howling Wolf.
It's howling time.
Alright, everyone, we're going to be doing some track. I'm going to be doing a track. I'm going to be doing the stakes races for at Sunland Park. It is going to be the Sunland Derby Day. It is race number 10. I'm going to be giving you most of the all of the stakes races, going from 5 through all the way to 11. Well, let's get this started. Race number 5. It is going a mile and 70 yards. It is the New Mexico State University Handicap for a purse of $100,000. We got a field of 9 running. We also got some great horses here. You got your favorite, which is going to be the number 3, Blazing Navarro, at 5-2. From what I was seeing here, Blazing Navarro looks like it'd be unbeatable, but as for myself, I always like to try to find a nice price horse to come in, possibly behind or even win the race. So again, I'm going to be going with my top selection. It is going to be the number 6, Go for a Stroll. It's money line odds at 6-1. It is by Alicia Storm out of a Bernardini mare. Last time ran February 17th at Sunland, going a mile distance for allowance $38,500. Was out, had to go wide, was inside fourth most of the way until around the turn, was able to get third, then down the stretch was going into second, was staying off second, had no match for the winner but Blazing Navarro, but was able to hold off and stay a good second. The time before that ran in January 20th, going a mile and 1/16 in the Dominguez Memorial Handicap. Was 6th at that day, had to save some ground and just couldn't take it, couldn't go, and stayed evenly down the road at that level, at that length. It was 6 by 8 1/4 lengths. The workouts have been March 3rd, did 4 furlongs in 47.2 seconds breezing. And then the last workout was March 15th, did 5 furlongs in 1 minute, 1 second, .1. Breezing was the 6th best out of the 23 workouts that day. For what I see here, what needs to get done is maybe stay closer off, not be in the lead so much, but nearby to be able to get for the chance to have a shot at the win. Would be able to get off good. Will not have to be out too far back, but maybe closer by than usual. It is getting Van Dyke aboard, which may be a great improvement for the horse to get into position well. So, for my top selection, in the New Mexico State University Handicap, going a mile and 70 yards, it is the number 6, Go for a Stroll, at morning odds at 6-1. My second choice, it is going to be the number 8, Shining Source. Shining Source is by Source out of a Comet Shine mare. Morning odds at 3-1. Last time ran went February 17th, and the allowance optional, and the allowance $38,500 was third, was inside, was gaining some ground, but couldn't get by my top selection, Go for a Stroll, or even Blazing Navarro. The time before that ran in January 20th in the Dominguez Handicap, was also third that day. Had to go 3 or 4 wide around the turn, was asking, but just was third again on that day. Was third by 2 1/4 lengths. The workouts have been in January 11th. Did 5 furlongs in 1 minute, 3 seconds, 0.3. Was the 6th best out of the 8 workouts that day. The last workout was March 15th at Sunland. 5 furlongs in 1 minute, 1 second breezing. Was the 5th best out of the 23 workouts that day. Well, what needs to be done here, what he needs to do is maybe try to do a different type of tactic. Maybe go for a pace. Try to go for the pace setter. Be the pace setter again in this race. The last time he has had some good efforts at being the pace setter and getting in there for at least a good second, or even close to winning, or getting nosed out by a close nose or something, or a neck. So what would need to be done is that he may need to try to be the pace setter in this one. Work that out to be up there for a good chance to come in down the lane for a prize. So again, my second choice, it is the number 8 Shining Source at Moneyline odds at 3-1. My horse to watch, it is the number 9 Jet NG. Jet NG is by Mr. Trieste out of a Tabasco Cat mare. Has been running at lower levels, moving up a bit. The last time was in a lower level, just had to go 4-6 wide around the quarter and just couldn't make it. So what the trainer was trying to do is give it some encouragement and show that it has the ability, but it didn't show it. Just had to go too far out wide and couldn't make the move. So again, for my horse to watch, what would need to be done there is that he needs to get it out in great position in a certain way that the horse will be able to make a move at least and stay out of trouble. So again, for my horse to watch, it is the number 9 Jet NG at Moneyline odds at 15-1. Now on to race number 6. Race number 6 is going a mile and 1/16. It is the New Mexico Breeders' Derby for a $100,000 purse. We got a field of 9, which believe the number 9 is the favorite. Sunscreen at 5-2. My top selection, though, it is going to be the number 2, Dolls. Dolls is by Abstraction out of a early flyer mare. Abstraction is went last time in February 26th at Sunland in 6 furlongs in maiden special weight race. Was up there with the pace and drew off to get a good first by 7 3/4 lengths. The time after that, before that, it ran in January 26th, doing 6 furlongs in a maiden special weight 23,000. Dueled and just was able to miss to get a win by a head actually. So was second by a head. The workouts have been February 18th was 4 furlongs in 50.3 seconds. Breezing was the 16th best out of the 21 workouts that day. The last workout was March 15th, was a 5 furlong workout, was 1 minute, 3 seconds, .1. Breezing was the 12th out of the 23 workouts that day. What I liked about this horse is the stretch out distance may help. It is by extraction, is by pulpit, and pulpit is a nice distance horse that would be able to get some ground. With the way it's been drawing off and winning by these large lengths, I think that this one's going to be able to like the extra distance. The stretch out is good. Keeping Toehill aboard. Knows how to get the horse into position well and maybe hold off a bit to be able to get this horse for a great win at this distance at a great price. So again, for my top selection in the New Mexico Breeders' Derby, it is the number 2 Dawes at morning line odds at 10-1. My second choice is going to be the favorite, the number 9 Sunscreen. Sunscreen is by Southwestern out of a Atlas Storm mare. Last time ran on February 2nd, did a mile distance in a stakes race. Was no match, was laid off around towards the back of the pack. Was holding on well. Was able to get back to at least a little bit of a distance. It was able to get up a bit and down towards the lane, was able to pass the tiring foals horses down towards the stretch and was able to get second by 5.5 lengths. The time before that ran on January 6th, doing 6 furlongs in the River Jane Drive. Was a stakes race. Had to go 4-5 wide. Was able to stick at third, then get to second, then down towards the stretch. Near the finish line, got passed up and got third by 6.25 lengths. The workouts have been February 26th at Sunland, 4 furlongs in 49.1 breezing was the 22nd best out of the 44 workouts that day. The last workouts were on March 8th, was 4 furlongs in 48.2 seconds. Breezing was the 9th best out of the 22 workouts that day. What needs to be done with Tim with this one was that he would need to get the horse. Ron Icaberry is aboard. It's 3-for-9 here, this horse, but should be able to get into great position and hopefully win it off. Maybe try a different tactic. Maybe stay a little closer, even try to be the pace setter. Try that out and see how it works. May not have the speed for it, but it may need to be one of the shots that the trainer would need to tell the jockey to do to possibly get off at a great win. So again, for my second choice, it is the favorite, the number 9 Sunscreen at 5-2. Now, horse to watch, it is the number 7 Catch 10. Catch 10 is by Mr. Trieste out of a Golden Ransom mare. It's been running in stakes races and also maiden special weight races. Has not been able to get at a win. It still needs to break its maiden. But from what I was watching on this one, what I see is improving. Has tried at a mile and 70 yards. And was able to get a good second allowance race. actually a maiden special weight race, excuse me. Then running at Zia, again at a mile distance to be able to get third. Was a mile gain but no match. It's moving up in class, but if he could find some way to get this horse into position well, you may see the horse getting up there for a great good price. So for my horse to watch, it is the number 7 Catch 10 at morning line odds at 12-1. Now on to race number 7. Race number 7 is the New Mexico Breeders' Oaks for $100,000, going a mile and 1/16. We got a field of 10 running. We got your favorite, I believe, is the number 6 Precious Looker at 3-1. Well, what I was seeing here, this race was kind of difficult to probably even try to see and look at, but I'm going to give you a price horse that possibly may be at a nice price. My top choice is going to be the number 7, Flight Song. Flight Song is by Atlas Storm out of a Domare, excuse me. Last time ran in January 6th at 6 furlongs in the Sonora Stakes. Well, it had to go 7 wide in that race to get up for 5th. Then right towards the stretch was able to get up to 3rd by 6 lengths. And Hayden was able to hold on for that 3rd by 6 lengths. The time before that ran in November 12th, excuse me. Allowance $35,550. Was in control until the 8th pull and stretched out to win that race by length. The workouts have been in March 2nd at 6 furlongs in 1 minute 15 seconds, .2. Was the best out of the 2 workouts that day. The last workout was March 15th at Sunland doing 6 furlongs and 1 minute 12 seconds, .1 was the best out of the 2 workouts that day. Well, I was looking here and seeing that it has the fractions for a great race here. The stretching out distance will help. Since it's been running at 6 and 5 furlongs, stretched out distance may help this one a lot. It shows that it has to be able to draw off, stay in the mid pack. Try not to be the pacer, but stay in mid pack to go off and maybe around the 2nd turn to get off for a great shot to make its move there, and then down the stretch to be around there close by to get up there for a great win at a chance, hopefully. So that's what I was looking at. So again, for my top selection in the New Mexico Breeders' Oaks, it is the number 7 Flight Song at 5-1. My second choice, it is the number 6 Precious Looker at 3-1. It is by Teo from the Crypt out of a Bay Head King mare. Last time ran was February 2nd at a mile distance in the Enchantress Stakes, going a mile at Sunland. Was up in 2nd from the gate, dueling well, and was able to hold down towards the stretch to win the race by a nose. The last time before that, it ran in December 19th, doing the 6 furlongs and a maiden special weight 32,000, and was able to draw off to make a good clear move, drawing off down towards the turn, and win this race by 7.5 lengths. Well, I was seeing here, it ran just twice and won both of the races. It'll probably be a little difficult in this race to do that. But maybe at a shot, if it stays in the type of running style it's been doing, you may see this one coming up in there late to have a great shot. The workouts have been March 5th at 49 seconds breezing. And the last one was March 19th, was a 49.3 second workout. So again, my second choice in the New Mexico Breeders' Oaks, it is the number 6, Precious Looker. A horse to watch. It may have a great shot at this one because it would need the distance and has the pedigree for it. It is going to be the number 4, Singing Nicole. Singing Nicole is by Proud Tower out of a Spengali mare. Ran at March 9th at 6.5 furlongs for claiming 12,500. Was the pace setter and was able to win that race, drawing off and winning it by 4.5 lengths. The last race was before that. It was in January 20th, doing 6.5 furlongs and a maiden $10,000. Was able to win that race by going out wide by 6 lengths, staying edge and winning that race down towards the stretch by 3.25 lengths. The stretch out in distance is a plus. The workouts have been February 18th at 5 furlongs and 59.4 seconds breezing. Was the third best out of the 19 workouts that day. The other one was in February 25th. It was 5 furlongs in 1 minute, 2 seconds, 0.1. Breezing was the 5th best out of the 12 workouts that day. So the stretching out in distance is a very big plus for this horse. Should like it. You may see this one coming up late since it has all that. It won the last 2 races at 6 furlongs by almost 8 lengths. Maybe 9. So you could see that it should love the spread, the longer distance. Running up late would be a great plus. Maybe around that second turn you'll start seeing it making that great late move that it has. So again, for my horse to watch in the New Mexico Breeders' Oaks, it is the number 4, Singing Nicole, at Morning odds at 8-1. Again, my top selection is the number 7, Fighting Song at 5-1. My second choice is the number 6, Precious Looker at 3-1. Now to race number 8. It is the Harry Henderson Handicap for a $100,000 purse for fillies and mares going a mile distance. I'm looking at how many horses we got running here. We got a field of 9 running. You got your favorite, which is possibly be the number 6, Escape Clause at 5-2. My top selection, it is going to be the number 2, Baylor. Baylor is by Graydar out of a Performing Magic mare. Last time ran was in March 3rd, going a mile distance. Was able to duel well twice and dug in to win this race by a neck. It is, and the time before that ran February 12th at 6.5 furlongs in a optional claiming $25,000. was able to get up there inside and was held on for a good show. So was up second, got up to go third, then was stayed at third all the way through. So again, my top choice. Okay, then the workouts have been February 5th at Sunland, 4 furlongs. Was 50.4 seconds breezing. Excuse me. So what I see here is that this horse will need to do is stay around the pace again, stretching back out to this type of distance. It is she is 3 for 1, is 1 for 3 at Sunland, and is 5 for 14 at this distance on the dirt, and at this distance it is 4 for 9. Well, what I'm seeing here would need to stay stuck nearby again, running the same type of race that it's had. Loris knows how to get her into position and hopefully get up and stay up in there for a great fight down towards the stretch. So again, for my top selection, it is the number 2, Baydar at 6-1. My horse to watch, it is to be the number 6, Escape Clause. Escape Clause is by Going Commando out of a circulating mare. Last time the horse ran was in February 16th at Santa Anita, doing 7 furlongs in the Santa Monica. Stocked, had to go 4 wide and just didn't have enough. Was able to stay in there and get 4th by 5 and a quarter length. The time before that, ran at Santa Anita in January 12th on a wet, fast surface, going a mile and 1/16. And the Canadian grade 3 was bid and had to go 3 wide and clear off towards the backstretch. It was first by a length, stretching out as the race went longer, and won the race by 5.5 lengths. The workout has been February 9th at Turf Paradise at 4 furlongs and 47 seconds. Breezing was the second best out of the 46 workouts that day. Then the last workout was March 11th at Turf Paradise. Went 49 seconds. Breezing was the 22nd best workout out of the 35 workouts that day. Well, I'm seeing here, Escape Calls we need to do. It's maybe that it's not going to be a wet surface, it's going to be a fast surface. She is 16 for 23 on the dirt and 5 for 5 at this distance. So is trying to go for 6 straight wins at this distance. Has been having some great, and all of them were stakes races at Santa Anita and Del Mar and so forth. So you know it's been running against some great horses. Excuse me. So from what I'm seeing here, this horse we need to do is run the race that it knows what to do. Tyler Bays is aboard and knows how to get her into position. Try to do what he did back in January 12th in the La Canadian. We'll hope and see how he could do here. Stretching it, keeping her back, stretching her back out will hopefully be a great plus. So again, for my second choice in the Harry Henson handicap, it is the number 6 Escape Clause at 5-2. My horse to watch It is going to be the number 9 performance review. Performance review is by Escandria out of a 5-star day mare. It's stretching out a distance. Should be a great plus to be able to hold off and stay back a bit. Last time ran in March 3rd at a mile distance for optional claiming 25,000. Showed that it has the ability to win. Was right behind Radar. So with this one going back up in that type and going against Radar, Radar may have a great challenge against her. So my horse to watch in the Harry Henson handicap, it is the number 9 performance review at 12-1. My top selection is the number 2 Radar at 6-1. My second choice is the number 6 Escape Clause at 5-2. Now on to race number 9. Race number 9, it is the Sunland Park Oaks, going for $200,000 purse, going a mile and 1/16 distance. We got a field of 9. Your favorite is Bellafina at 7-5, which should be my top selection. I don't see any horse trying to beat her, but it'll be a great race to see what Fabian Pratt could do. Bellafina is last time ran February 9th, going a mile distance in the La Virginias. Had to go inside it, but held on gamely. Was a great win by a 3/4 length. The time before that ran in January 6th at Santa Anita at 7 furlongs in the San Nias. Was off a bit and dueled to be able to get up there and win the race by 8.5 lengths. The workouts have been on March 10th at Los Alamitos. Ran at 5 furlongs in 59.2 seconds. Was the 9th best out of the 25 workouts that day. Then last time worked out was March 18th of 5 furlongs at Santa Anita in 59.1 seconds. Was the best workout out of the 34 workouts that day. Bellafina will need to do the same type of thing that she's always done. Running off. Try not to put too much pressure on her, but will be off in there slow. Trying to be the pace setter, but holding off and put it down in gear so she can relax a bit until that last couple jumps right towards the last turn. Then she can make her great move and stretch out to win this one by maybe 5 lengths or more. You never could tell. So again, for my top selection, it is the number 9, Bellafina, which you guys that know me and listen to my videos, I try not to give the favorites too much, but it was just a horse I could see and all that. So behind that horse, Bellafina, my second choice, it is going to be the number 6, KP Slickum. KP Slickum is by Include out of a forestry mare. Last time ran February 24th at Sunland at a mile distance in the Island Fashion Stakes. Well, it had to go swinging out a bit and hang on for a good third by 3 lengths. Was behind Victim of Love and Backflash, which are in this race as well. Time before that ran in January 27th to 6.5 furlongs in the Borderplex Stakes. Had to go 5 wide around the turn and steadied a bit. And then in mid-stretch was able to get back into it and get a good second by a neck behind Parade of Roses, which is also in this race. The workouts have been in February 15th was 5 furlongs in 1 minute, 1 second, .3 was the 8th best out of the 19 workouts that day. Then the last workouts were March 15th at 5 furlongs in 1 minute, 2 seconds, .4 was the 11th best out of the 23 workouts that day. What this horse would need to do, stay a bit more closer, not be out in mid-pack, but maybe a little bit closer towards the pace setter. Making a great move would be able to help this horse out by down towards the second stretch. Slowly moving up, down at the back stretch, so it could get that position well. Don't go in too much, but maybe enough so it's not inside too much of a crowd. And don't have to go back out. But you may want to see this one coming up late. So again, for my second choice, it is the number 6, KP Slickum, at morning odds at 8-1. Excuse me. Now for my horse to watch. The horse to watch is to be the number 5, Backflash, at morning odds at 6-1. Is by Migdaglioro out of a Tappet mare. It's stretching out in distance. Has never been around this distance before. But stretching out is a plus. Luis Contreras is staying aboard. Knows how to get this horse into position well. Should be able to get her into a great shot at a great inside the price. Going towards the second, the backstretch. Going towards the second turn. Should be able to help out. And you may see this one coming up late in a great pace. The workouts have been in March 13th of 5 furlongs at Sam Houston. Did in 1 minute, 1 second. The last workout was March 20th at Sam Houston. Did in 3 furlongs and 36.2 breezing. Was the second best out of the 9 workouts. So again, what I'm saying here is you may want to look for this one coming out late towards the backstretch if Luis Contreras doesn't get into any issues and doesn't have to go out too far, but stays inside enough that saves some ground for her to come in for a great shot at a win. So again, for my horse to watch in the Sam Houston Park Oaks, it is the number 5, Backflash at 6-1. Again, my top selection is the number 9, Bellafina at 7-5. My second choice is the number 6, KP Slickum at 8-1. Now on to race number 10. Race number 10 is the Bill Thomas Memorial, going for $100,000, going 6.5 furlongs. We got a field of 7 running. You got your favorite, which is to be the number 3, and it's with my top selection. I couldn't see any other horse beating this one. It is the number 3 is Trismix. It's by Munings out of a Grand Slam mare. Last time ran on March 10th at Turf Paradise. I did it 6 furlongs in an optional claiming $30,000. Was edged and cleared hand urging, so did not need no whipping or nothing. Was by a hand ride, was able to get that race and win that one by a length and a half. The time before that ran at Churchill Downs at a fast track, going 6 furlongs in the district. Went in the 4-path during the turn and drew off well and won that race by 6 1/4 lengths. The workouts had been at Turf Paradise was a 6 furlongs in 1 minute 12 seconds. .1 was the best and only workout that day. The last workout was March 3rd at Turf Paradise, a 5 furlongs in 57.4 seconds. Handily Gallop was the best workout out of the 15 workouts that day. What I see here is that this horse just needs to run its race. Steve Stevens is aboard still. Knows how to get this horse into position. Will run this race like it did back in March 10th. Should be able to come off at a great shot at a great price. If nothing goes wrong, maybe go out a little bit so he could get some room and not too far out, but enough to get enough for the shot to win. So again, for my top selection is going to be the number 3 Chief Saritz at 3-1 morning line. My second choice it is going to be the number 1 Limitation. Limitation is by Alteration out of a Limehouse mare. Last time ran at March 9th at Oaklawn Park for optional claiming 50,000. Was inside and just gave way. Was the pace setter that day. And just towards the end of the stretch, just gave way for the other horses. Got too tired out. It was 7th. Was able to get there 7th by 6.5 lengths. The time before that, ran at Oaklawn Park on a sloppy track going a mile distance and allowance $80,000. Had to study. Made the bid to try to get up there again and just couldn't do it. Got too tired out. Too late. And was 8th by 39 lengths. Whoa. The workouts had been on February 26th at Oaklawn Park at 5 furlongs in 1 minute .1. Breezing was the 3rd best out of the 25 workouts that day. Then did a workout on March 10th, at 4 furlongs in 51.1 seconds. Was the 15th best out of the 18 workouts that day, What I see with Limitation is cutting back in distance. And cut back in distance is a big help since it knows how to get up there fast. So you may see this one coming up. It's shortening up distance, knows how to get into position. Well, at this distance, they show that it has the speed for this cut back in distance. And with Luis Contreras aboard, should be a great plus and help for him to get up in there. So again, for my second choice in the Bill Thomas Memorial, it is the number 1 Limitation at 8-1 morning line. My horse to watch, it is to be the number 4 Classy Class. Classy Class is by Discreetly out of a Sunland mare. Ran 6 furlongs last time in February 24th. Was the controlling speed and able to get out in there. Was it back in the mid-pack, maybe that back of the pack, down towards the turn. Was able to get to a 3rd and drew off to get first, then right towards the stretch. Just drew away. and was able to win that race by 3 1/4 lengths. So what I'm seeing here with this horse, the watch, is the same type of distance, just a little bit up in class. It's the only issue, and that would need a problem with that. It'd be going at the way that it needs to do. Should help out and maybe come up late for a great price. So again, for my horse to watch in race number 10, the Bill Thomas Memorial, it is the number 4 Classy Class at 10-1. Now on to race number 11, the final race that I got. It is race number 11. It is the Sunland Derby, Grade 3 for an $800,000 purse, going 1 1/8 and Derby points. We got a field of 10 running. You got quite a few here that I got possibly be the favorites. You got the one which is the favorite, Mucho Gusto, at 8-5. From what I saw here, I think there might be an upset because earlier today, if you're listening to this recording today, if you're listening to it today, earlier today, we had upsets, and if you're listening to it tomorrow, yesterday we had some upsets in the stakes races. From what I was watching here with this one, I think it might be another upsetter. If it goes right from how I'm seeing it. For in the Sunland Derby, my top selection is going to be the number 3, Hustle Up. Hustle Up is by Abstraction, which is by Pulpit out of a In Excess mare. Last time ran in the Mind That Bird Stakes, going 1 1/16 on February 24th. Was ranked, but went off early and cleared and held on for a good first by a length. The time before that ran on February 2nd at Sunland, going a mile distance in the stakes race. Drew off and was an easy winner by 5.5 lengths. The workouts have been February 16th at 3 furlongs was 35.3 seconds. Was the best of the 19 workouts that day. The last workout was March 17th at 6 furlongs. Was 1 minute 11 seconds, .2. Breezing was the best out of the 4 workouts that day. It's going to have to deal with Mucho Gusto. It's going to have to deal with another Twist of Fate, which will possibly be one of the pace setters. I believe will be the pace setter of all of these. You may see a Twist of Fate going out fast out. But with Hustle Up, I really would need to stay back a bit. Stay back a little bit so it can make that last kicking move down towards the turn of the second turn. And heading towards the stretch, should be able to be close by the pace setter to be able to make its move and Hustle Up, as its namesake, to get off there for a great price and a great win. So again, my top selection for the Sunland Derby, it is the number 3, Hustle Up, at 5-1. My second choice is going to be the favorite, Mucho Gusto. Mucho Gusto is by Mucho Macho Man out of a Giant Causeway mare. Last time ran at Santa Anita in the Robert B. Lewis. Was stalking out in there. And was able to get a good first down towards the stretch and win it by 4 3/4 lengths. The time before that ran at Los Alamitos in the Los Alamitos Fraternity, grade 1, going a mile and 1/16. Dueled inside, but only was able to hold off, stay behind Improbable at that race, and was able to hold on to get second by 5 lengths. Mucho Gusto with this one would need to do, because I still believe that another twist of fate, what Mr. Wusso would need to do is stay back a bit, lay back just a tiny bit, not too much, relax. The workouts have been March 10th, 5 furlongs in 57.4 seconds, handily. Was the second best out of the 25 workouts that day. Then the last workout was March 10th at Santa Anita. Worked out 6 furlongs in 1 minute, 13 seconds, .3. Was the second best out of the 11 workouts that day. Like I said, would need to be a little bit, stay nearby or behind another twist of faith. I still believe that another twist of faith is to try to be out there for the pace. And lay out, stay closer than usual to the pace setter. Then, when it's down towards that stretch, try to make the move. And hopefully it has enough in him to get a great win. So again, for my second choice, it is the favorite, the number 1, Mucho Gusto at 8-5. Now towards my horse to watch. My horse to watch is going to be the number 4, Wicked Indeed. Wicked Indeed is by Tap It out of a Harlem's Holiday Mare. Last time the horse ran at the Mind That Bird Derby, was able to get second behind Hustle Up. Had to go 3 or 4 wide and was gaining ground, but by the time it towards the finish line was too late to get the win, so got second by a length. If he does what he did here, you may see this one at coming up. It won't be at 6-1, maybe be at 10-1 or so, up a bit. So you may see this one at a great price. If anything goes wrong with my other 2 horses, I believe you might want to keep an eye on the number 4, Wicked Indeed, to come in at a great shot at 6-1. So again, for my horse to watch, it is the number 4, Wicked Indeed, in the Sunland Derby for $800,000 purse, going a mile and 1/8. My top selection again is the number 3, Hustle Up at 5-1. My second choice is the favorite, the number 1, Mucho Gusto. And remember, everyone, when you're cashing, and before I say my saying, I like to say if you guys play my selections, if you play my top selections or anything, how you do it, I play them across the board. As you know, most of the time, unless I actually see it be a favorite, I do what I can. But I play my horses across the board. So remember, everyone, when you're cashing with the wolf, it's howling time. Good luck, everyone, and let's cash in this ticket. Till next time. Good luck, everyone.